Yo, what is going on, you guys? So today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down what I believe to be the 3 best basketball card investments that you can make right now. There's going to be a lot of data and analysis that goes into this. The main thing that I'm going to be focusing on in this video is risk to reward ratio. So finding the best pockets of investments where we can limit the downside as much so we can focus on how much upside there could be in a particular investment. Before we get into it, I did want to say real quick about our membership program. You guys know we talked about it in the last couple of videos. We opened up our membership program to new members. Our 2 main investments over the last 5 years have been Nikola Jokic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And they're both having career seasons. They're both going up a lot right now. There are a lot of our members who are in the green a lot. And we've got a lot of shorter term and more mid-term investments that have done very well as well. So if you would like to join, the link is down below. But without further ado, let's hop right into today's video. All right, guys, so the first player that we're going to be going over is probably going to be a little bit more unexpected. And there's a very specific reason for this. That is none other than Carmelo Anthony. Now, Carmelo Anthony is going to be leading this year's Hall of Fame class for the NBA. He will be in the Basketball Hall of Fame this year. And throughout the summer, if you guys have been following the sports card market with previous Hall of Fame inductions, there is a big rise in price for guys who make the Hall of Fame, for guys who are inducted into the Hall of Fame, and Carmelo is the most popular name in this year's class. And his cards are ultra, low priced, I would say right now. You can get one of his most important cards, pop under 1,000, 2003 Topps Chrome PSA 10 for around $100 for a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest scorers of all time. One thing I do like about Carmelo is, first of all, he is in the 2003 draft class. This draft class will always be one of the most iconic draft classes of all time, meaning that 2003 Topps Chrome will always be one of the most important sets in the sports card market. And behind Wade and LeBron, Carmelo's Topps Chrome is the 3rd most important card and one of the most important sets in the sports card industry. One thing that I also like about Carmelo is him being a face of New York. The New York fan base is incredible when it comes to collecting and investing. And the sports card market in New York continues to grow a lot, and Carmelo is one of their all-time favorites. He was one of the greatest scorers of all time, had some of his biggest career moments when he was playing in a Knicks uniform. So I do believe that Carmelo, his ties with LeBron, him getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, and given how low his prices are, I don't see them going up 4 or 5 times, but I see over time some really steady growth in Carmelo's market, especially for his ultra rare cards. I believe there'll be enough collectors to cause these cards to go up a lot in price. So without further ado, we will hop right into the next pick, and that is none other than Steph Curry. When I talked about I'm looking for investments that have high upside that also cover their downside, Steph Curry is the first guy that comes to mind. One thing I really love about Steph is that the sports card market is growing so much globally. There's new shows popping up in Asia every year. There's new shows popping up in Europe. We see the sports card numbers in terms of international buyers continue to hit new all-time highs every single year. And Steph Curry is one of the most popular names globally, especially in Asia. People love Steph Curry. There's a lot of demand for Steph Curry's cards in Asia. And as that market continues to grow, combine that with very low pop cards. His Topps Chrome, for example, one of his most important cards. This card is, under 500 ever graded. There are only 61 PSA 10s. There are, 100 PSA 9s, 39 PSA 8s. This card just doesn't really pop up much. And combine that with leading into the playoffs, some of the most important investments are investments, it's all relative to expectations. And the Warriors currently, as I'm recording this video, sit at the 6th seed, which means that they don't have much expectations heading into the playoffs. So, if they exceed expectations, if they win the first round, if they win the second round, you could see their prices go up a ton. But if they do not do anything, if they don't make any noise, you're not really going to see prices go down because he doesn't have expectations. He's not priced in to win, in the first round, even because they're not even going to be a top 4 seed. So given he's not expected to win, he's not priced in to win, there's upside if Steph Curry does win more in his career. I believe that his current prices are based on what he's already accomplished, not future projections. And a lot of younger players like Shea, like Luka, like Wemby, they're all priced in based off future expectations. I believe Curry, given he had a bit of a rough start to the year, the Warriors had a bit of a rough start to the year, first half of the year. His cards are currently, I believe, priced based off of what he's already accomplished. So even if he were to retire today, I believe he's already four-time MVP, four-time champion, two-time MVP, unanimous MVP, greatest shooter of all time, one of the fan favorites. I believe if he were to retire today, his prices would still be fine. And that's an investment that I'm really looking for. It's like if he got injured tomorrow and his career's over, I'm still confident his prices will be fine for the long term, but there is upside if he is able to add anything more to that. It's all just cherry on top at this point, I believe. So that is why I really like this investment, and we've already started to see the market pick up on these things a little bit. This card right here was $1,000. Now it's almost up to around $1,500 on average. So, we're starting to see some movement in Steph Curry's market, which is great to see. The next player that really hits that mark, I know it's a super obvious investment, in terms of some guy who gets talked about all the time, but that's LeBron. LeBron, I believe, is one of the greatest less risk, high reward investments. If he were to retire today, I believe his prices are still relatively low compared to where they could be. Compared to all-time greats like, where Kareem's market's gotten to, where Jordan's market's gotten to, LeBron's market's still fairly priced. I know the pop counts are higher than those two I mentioned. But LeBron, I believe if he were to retire today, his cards are not going to be going down in price. If at all, they're going to go up over time. But there's a chance he adds more to the legacy. As I'm recording this, the Lakers are second seed. I know he just got hurt. I believe he will be back for the playoffs as I'm recording this video. At least I'm recording this on March 9th. But I believe that if the Lakers do make anything happen with Luka over the next couple of years, you could see his prices skyrocket. But if not, I still think they'll be fine. So I think it's a low risk, high reward investment. If he adds anything more to his legacy, that's just going to help expand his market even more, and that's going to be more of a cherry on top. But he's not reliant on making a playoff run this year or next year for his prices to be, doing great in the long term. So I really think LeBron's a great low risk, high reward investment, with great long term, surety that he's going to be one of the faces of the sports card market for basketball. But hey, there is good short-term upside if they do win a finals or make the finals or make a run. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Let us know some players you guys are buying in the comment section below.